Do you ever wonder how the audio products that are reviewed on YouTube work after 4 years? Maybe you're one that uses them, but you don't see anything. All the reviews are focused on something new, and someone doesn't come back 4 years later and tell you how good or bad something is. So let's talk about that today. Hey, welcome back to the Thrift Shop. Today we are going to talk about the Hiby R3 Pro Saber. That's right. Had this little baby right here. I bought this, I don't even know when it was released, when the whole AKM thing, and who knows, everyone jumped on Saber. ESS chipsets for the DAC inside here. And yeah, I've been using this for 4 years. This thing has been all over the country. I've traveled for work. I've mowed grass. I've walked on treadmills. I've used this continuously, and I'm amazed. After, let's call it 4 years, this thing still works. Battery is still great. So Hiby has done something really great with their DAPs. The reason that I'm doing this video, number one, is because you don't see long-term use reviews. Secondly, is I've got the new R4 coming. So not that there's anything wrong with this. I just wanted to get something new. This isn't something that I buy every year. This is something that I use because of portability. I have used basically some kind of music device since I was a little kid, all the way from portable cassette players to portable CD players. I've had multiple iPod Classics. I've gone through more iPod Nanos than I can count. Even as Bluetooth was coming on, I still used a wired headphone for many things, even working out. But so I decided, I don't like my phone. I would just simply use this as my music device. And it's great for traveling. That way, when I'm traveling, I'm not using my iPhone. And because I need to do work on that, I can't, be on a plane for 3 to 4 hours and burn out the battery. So I'm going to use, a DAP, a digital audio player. And this is what I chose to use. Now, in using this, I don't want to talk about specs. So if, I have to, just because maybe you're watching and you're curious, you can't even buy this anymore. So there's no reason, but there are newer versions of this available. And I'm sure Hiby will make other newer products. This came in at around $180, so I thought it was a fair entry into digital audio players. This has the, the 9218P Saber, ESS Saber chip in it, and this also gives the power for the amplification on that chip. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. I don't know, power-wise, spec-wise, but it's not very powerful. Most of my listening, all of my listening, it basically has been through in-ear monitors, IEMs, and they work quite fine. So getting back to the video, sorry I had to stop it. I had a barking dog and a neighbor mowing his grass, so decided just to take a break. So I forgot where I was even at. I think I was talking about specs, but anyways, at the time there were a few DAPs in this price range that I was kind of interested in. The first was the Shanling model, don't even remember the number. Then there was the Hiby, I think it was AP80 at the time. I chose Hiby because I believe the Hiby is using the Hiby software, and I really liked that this was not using some kind of basically Android software, if that makes sense. It's Hiby's software on here, and I absolutely love it. This thing is great. Here you can see I've got Nirvana going. Hopefully you can see that focused in, and then you can go right to the band. And I don't have all of the images for each album, even though I've got software that's supposed to fix that. It hasn't, but anyways, I really don't care. I use this, I just have it on shuffle, shuffles through songs. I've got pretty much every genre on here, and I absolutely love that for testing IEMs and just general listening. That way I'm just not listening to rock or metal the whole time. And, I'll have jazz, I'll have some funk pop up, I'll have some rap pop up, you name it. a singer-songwriter on here. I've got everything, a little bit of everything. But this thing, it's worked flawlessly. And quite honestly, I've used it probably 3 to 4 hours at a time max, and the battery has lasted forever. I don't see a degradation in the battery. I think right now, if you can see it, it's at 92%. You can do a lot of this. You can even run like coax out of this or optical out. It does have a 2.5 balanced here and a 3.5 single-ended. Your volume buttons are over here, so you can kind of see my scratches on this. So this fell off of my lawnmower and made those scratches. So yeah, that's kind of what happens with time with these things. And I think that's what's important about this. In this model here, the buttons down the side, I haven't had it, turn on or off while in my pocket, but certainly, the volume buttons, I've had to go up or down. The track buttons on the side, it's stopped. So, it's fine. It works great. Micro SD slot here on the bottom, USB-C, so you can plug this thing right in your computer. That's how I'll add songs, delete songs, or copy this whole micro SD card to another one. So it's flawless. Works, with mine. Now the downside of this is that in using iPod Classics, I didn't treat them nice. When I got this, I said, why do I need a protector? I think most of us are used to iPhones, or maybe you have an Android phone, who knows, but you're used to Gorilla Glass. And unfortunately, most of the DAPs that I know of, probably the lower end ones at least, are not using Gorilla Glass. They're using some cheap glass. That way, you do have an aluminum frame here, but you do have glass here, so you can use your Bluetooth, your LDACs that this does have. But what ends up happening is you crack the glass like crazy. All it takes is one drop. This happened from one drop right here, and it just shattered it back. So thank God it has the protector on here. Most of the time you'll see them sending more, and the protectors do scratch up. But I don't want to take this off because it'll just remove this whole back. Still operates fine. I do have some, I don't know if you can see it. It's cracked up here. So yeah, you're getting what you pay for at $180. Don't expect to get Gorilla Glass. I do think that Hiby needs to step it up with their products, or any entry-level DAP, and stop giving you the leather cases that nobody wants to use. I certainly don't want to use a case. This is enough bulk as it is. I want to throw this in a pocket. It slides in great. I don't want to use some case around it. I would rather they just made the product more durable from a glass standpoint and don't use cases. So next move, I think, for Hiby and some of these other manufacturers to really step up, get away from the cases, just do the product right from the beginning, and don't worry about it. But after 4 years of using it, this thing has worked flawlessly. The only time that I've had a problem, because I do listen to IEMs quite a bit, is unfortunately never use this with IEMs when you're folding your laundry. At least for me, here where I'm located, pretty dry. You pull out your laundry with a lot of static, and all of a sudden you have this thing working, and zick, it'll shut this thing down, zap it pretty good, and then you're left trying to reboot this thing. So I had to figure out multiple times, just because out of sight, out of mind, you do it over and over, how to hard reset this thing. So it does happen. Don't fold your laundry directly out of the dryer while using at least this DAP and your IEMs, because that's just too much static electricity. But from a sound standpoint, I absolutely love this. It's very analytical, a little bit dry in the top end, so it gives you the perception of being highly detailed, fairly neutralish. You're not getting more bass than you should. Just a very reference sound. So it's good for me to use this kind of DAP, in comparison to using R2R DAX or the shit Bifrost 264 here. It's just good for me to have this reference. Plus, I don't want to be tied to my desk all the time. So I'm walking around, moving around, doing chores around the house, whatever. I'll do mowing my grass, because IEMs do give you enough passive noise isolation that you really don't need to have noise cancellation. It is beneficial, but using this, I prefer the detailed nature of this over running Bluetooth headphones and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be hopefully pretty short and sweet. And, you know, this is what it's like to live with a product for 4 years. Hiby has done a great job. I hope they make their products better in the future. But the R4 will be coming soon, and I am really excited. So, hey, thanks from the thrift shop here. If you like this kind of video, if you want to do a, you know, what is something like after 3 or 4 years, let me know. I got plenty of products. I have some vintage reviews coming up. Just hit like, subscribe. That way you know when my videos are uploaded. And I appreciate it from the thrift shop. Peace.